Welcome back to HuffDaddy BBQ. Today we're going to be talking about how to smoke a leg of lamb. It's almost Easter time. Traditionally, a lot of people will have ham around Easter time. I absolutely enjoy doing it a little bit differently and doing a leg of lamb, and I like to do it on the smoker. Lamb is more readily available nowadays than it may have been 5-10 years ago. A lot of lamb will come from New Zealand. I get mine from Costco, and I'll show you what it looks like. Here you'll see it's about a 6-pound leg of lamb, and it will come more than likely, depending on where you get it, in some sort of a prepackaged net. I like to take that net off, and the reason why is because if you open it up, you can see that there's a lot of sinew. Legs of lamb have a lot of connective tissue in them, and I like to take and trim out about as much of that as I can. I've just found that the more you trim it out ahead of time before you cook it, the more pleasant it's going to be when you cut into it when it's done. A lot of those things won't dissolve and they're not very edible, so do a little bit of work ahead of time and you'll be in much better shape. So as you can see here, after you've opened it up and taken out a lot of the sinew and other connective tissue, this is what you have. A pretty decent sized piece of meat. You want to trim this a little bit like a brisket, let some of that softer fat on there. There's plenty of fat, intermuscular fat here throughout the lamb, but anything you see like this, just want to take that off. My dog's barking at something outside. And just get rid of that and expose the meat and trim that up. Okay, trimmed up, looks pretty good. Now, a lot of people think lamb is too gamey. Just depends on what kind of lamb you get. If you get a good quality lamb, you shouldn't have to worry about that. Also, I like to put a lot of citrus in my aromatics here, what we're going to season the lamb with, and that'll help take out any gaminess that may be left in it. So I like to just use salt and pepper. Another reason to open it up out of the package and spread it apart like this is so you can really season really well all the nooks and crannies of the lamb. Just salt and pepper here on this step. And flip it over. Okay, looks pretty good. Now, what I have here in this bowl is some fresh herbs, thyme, rosemary, and mint. I also have red pepper flakes, garlic, the zest of 1 lemon, and the juice of half a lemon. Don't need any salt or pepper because that's already on the lamb. I'm just going to take and add some olive oil. EVOO is fine, but you can also just do regular olive oil. And you're going to make kind of a sludge out of this. So I'd say about a 1/4 cup of oil. Stir it up pretty good. Maybe just a little more oil here. All right. And that's what you're looking for, kind of a sludge. Then you're going to take this and spread it all over the lamb, because we're going to take the lamb and tie it into a roast here in a second, but you want to make sure that we get this all over the lamb, insides and out. Oh man, it smells so good. That rosemary, you can smell the garlic, thyme, and that lemon really comes out too. So take the rest of this, just dump it on there. Spread that around. Make sure you're covering all of it. All right, looks good. I'll be right back and we'll show you how to tie this up into a roast. All right, so the last thing we're going to do here before we tie it into a roast is I have some fresh slices of lemon, about 4 slices. The reason I like to put this on the inside is because it helps give it that lemon flavor, but it also helps keep it moist. These aromatics on the inside, the juice from the lemon. So I just spread those right there on the inside. Now, we're going to take this and fold this over. Kind of tuck the sides in. There we go. And just kind of shape it into a roast like we have there. That looks good. Then I've got some pieces of butcher's twine here. Just kind of slide that underneath there. Pull it up. Tie it fairly tight. And there you go. And do this here with about, I'd say 3 or 4 more strings, just to make sure we have a good roast that's going to hold its shape. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Here we have the finished product. You see I put 3 twine across the lamb this way and 1 going this way, so you kind of end up with almost a little mini football looking roast. And what you want to do is I'm going to transfer this over to a plate and I'm going to stick it in the fridge. You want to let these seasonings and herbs and the citrus set up on the lamb for probably a good, at least 2 hours, maybe 3 hours before you put it in the smoker, so that way the seasoning and the flavors get down deep into the roast. All right, see you in 3 hours. So the roast has been in the fridge for about 3 hours now. The flavors have had a nice chance to settle in. About to take it out to the smoker, but I wanted to address why I took off so much of the fat off of the outside of the lamb. A lot of people that complain about not liking the taste of lamb, it being too gamey, that's because a lot of that gamey flavor is in the fat. Some people will say they don't like the taste of lamb fat. So I took it off just to cut back on that a little bit. You can certainly leave it on if you don't mind the taste of the lamb fat. It's a great insulator, help keep it a little bit more moist, but certainly it's your call. But that's why I removed a lot of the outside fat, tried to leave just a tiny layer on there. And it's absolutely your choice. At any rate, let's take it out to the smoker. Wow, what a great day outside. I just absolutely love smoking in 65, 70 degree weather. So I got the Yoder smoker YS 1500 fired up to about 275. Today I'm using a blend of apple and cherry wood. You don't want a real harsh smoke flavor on the lamb. You want the flavor of the lamb to come through, so just a really light smoke apple and cherry blend. We're going to let this smoke for about 2.5 hours. You're shooting for medium plus to medium on the lamb. Probably about 140 to 145 degree internal temperature is where we're going to want to end at. So I'm going to put this roast in there. I'm going to come back and check on it in about 1.5 hours and probe it and see what the color looks like. Let's keep smoking. Okay, we've been right at about 2 hours here at 275. You can see my Yoder here is keeping it right between 280 and 270. I really encourage you to check out yodersmokers.com and look into getting a pellet smoker from Yoder. If you don't cook on a pellet smoker, you don't really know what type of convenience you're missing. You set the temperature and it's just going to keep it exactly where you need it to be. It's got excellent smoke flavor. It's very versatile from grilling and smoking. Check out my video here on why I like pellet smokers and specifically the Yoder. So at any rate, we have been right at 2 hours. Oh man, it's looking nice. Let's take a probe here. All right, we're getting close. We're going to be looking to pull this around 138 or so, right at 140, so the carryover can take it to 145. Yeah, we're getting close here. We'll probably be back out here in about another 30 minutes. Just great color on that though. I'm excited to see what the results are. All right, we've been another 30 minutes. We should be looking pretty good here. So we're going to temp it out. We're looking for right around 135, 40. Yep, right at 140 actually. So good to go. We're going to take this out, take it inside, and very important, let it rest for at least 30 minutes. See you inside. All right, we've been resting for 30 minutes. I can't wait to cut into this. So here we go. I took off the strings, the twine, otherwise it's just been resting under foil. Let's cut into this bad boy. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's a perfect color. Perfect medium rare to medium. You can see that garlic, the herbs and stuff that's in there. That's gonna be delicious. All right, let's take a bite, see how we do. You can taste the garlic, you can taste the rosemary. Nice citrus too from that lemon. Man, that's gonna be exceptional. Well, I hope you give this a try for your Easter dinner this year or whenever you want to. If you like the video, be sure to check below and subscribe. And then stay tuned for more videos to come. We'll see you next time.